I come to you today with a message for men. Get comfortable with being alone. I was talking with a woman recently, and she said something that really impressed me. She said something that was really impactful. You know, on this channel, I talk a lot about women and how they don't understand men. But this woman in particular understands and sees the social problems that occur amongst men. She told me that men's social circle, their support system is lackluster. And she's 100% true. She's 100% right. Which is why I'm making this video, to give you guys an awareness of what's really going on amongst men and go a little bit deeper into this. See, women, once they go through a heartbreak, they can go call a friend and say, hey, I'm dealing with such and such, and one of her friends will come over literally within 10 to 15 minutes if they live that close together and bring ice cream or pick her up. Men are not like that. You go through a heartbreak, the men will send you a text message, maybe give you a FaceTime call and say, hey, bro, you'll be okay. Being okay, what that sounds like is just walk it off. When you tell another man that it's going to be okay and that everything's going to turn out okay, in that moment, you don't want to hear that. You want something pleasurable. You want some actual emotional support, not a pat on the back. You need an embrace. That is why the social and support system of men is completely lackluster. Now, there's multiple reasons why you need to be alone. You need to have the ability to be alone, right? One of the reasons men are, depending on what kind of man you are, especially if you're an introverted man, you think better, you have better clarity, better ideas whenever you're not bothered. You're allowed to think with your thoughts and have a singular focus without outside distractions. That is when men are at their best, whenever we are singularly focused without distraction. And being alone oftentimes helps you with that. Getting away from the wife and kids or the girlfriend or even just your own other male friends. Just getting away and be able to focus is key. So that's one reason as to why you should have the ability to be alone. But here's the other reasons. You need to accept the fact, guys, that people come and go. People say one thing and do another. People will say they're loyal, but their loyalty will change. You'll hear women say, I love you, and then 2 years later, she hates you. She can't stand you. And you're wondering what happened. Nothing happened. She's just fickle. People are fickle, and oftentimes since we have a lack of strong culture and identity, we produce fickle people that aren't loyal to anything. It's funny to me because it's not funny, but this is actually really extremely sad, right? But go back to when Donald Trump was really back in his primary. Guys weren't even really paying attention to this. Most people did not jump on the MAGA train until he got grazed in the ear. Think about that for a second. Talk about fickle, right? A lot of people, Elon Musk, all them people were still on the fence until he took a bullet to the ear. Now everybody wants to, hey, support and jump out. Why weren't you supporting him before that? Why did he need to take a bullet to the ear, a stroke of God, to miss his whole entire head, to feel the need to be loyal to that man? These are the men that are walking around out here in society. See, modern men, since feminism and we live in matriarchy, modern men have the mindset of a woman, and mindset of a woman is to be fickle. This is why hypergamy, you have to be red pill aware for hypergamous reasons. She'll jump to the bigger and better deal. She'll monkey branch to the bigger and better deal. But what use are men if men are always jumping from the bigger and better deal and going to the highest bidder as well? If there's no loyalty, there's no masculinity. If there's no honor, there's no masculinity. Go check my last video out. This is why weak people destroy society. See, guys, I'm going to save your life right here. If you were able to grasp what I'm trying to say, and hopefully I can say it in a way to where it makes sense to you. You have to preserve your mental health as a man. Life is a mental game. If you lose this, all of this will go as well. But if you're strong up here, you can wield all of this to do whatever you want it to do. But nobody wants to talk about preserving your mental health and how important that is and what does that actually mean. One way, and one of highly effective way to preserve your mental health, is to not have high expectations for people. The moment that you have high expectations for people, you have to realize that you're dealing with humans. They can't live up to that. We're imperfect. We're not perfect on a pedestal people. So if you put a high unrealistic expectations for them and they don't live up to that expectation, that causes disappointment, that causes sadness, that causes all of the negative emotions that harm your mental health. So to preserve your mental health, just watch people. Don't have any expectations. Watch for where they truly are. If they're loyal, treat them as loyal. If they're honest, treat them as honest. If they're liars and cheaters, treat them as liars and cheaters. But do not have a assumption that can harm the way you look at this person. Because just because they're lying and cheating doesn't always mean that they're evil. There could be a reason why, a valid reason why they're lying and they're cheating. Now, it usually spills over into different things that could harm you specifically, but You have to stay in reality. You have to preserve your mental health. You have to be strong. And that's another reason why our social circles amongst men are I've talked about this recently. The social circle amongst men is very shallow, because every man in the friendship is trying to preserve that toughness, that hardness, that nothing bothers them, that nothing can get to them. Which is why when you ask an honest question about, hey, how's your relation? Hey, how's work? Hey, how's family? They won't go past anything shallow. But then you get mad at people when they don't understand your pain. But how can we understand your pain when you don't open up about your pain? A lot of the things that we cause are self-inflicted, but also it's because of the social ramifications of the Western culture and how we produce female-minded men that are fickle, non-loyal, non-honorary. You guys see the numbers in the matrix, what's really going on. So people only gather around people with value. Let me rephrase that. People only gather around men with value. And let me tell you something that most people aren't going to tell you about self-improvement. It's easy for people to say, it's easy for me to say, hey, you need to self-improve, you need to focus, you need to get on your purpose. First of all, how do I find my purpose? So that's one problem right there. How do you find your purpose? Now you got to go out and try and fail and do all kinds of stuff. Self-improvement is painful. Self-improvement is lonely, because you're going to be doing all of this stuff by yourself. The thing about advice is everybody's advice doesn't work. So you have to really find out what's the best advice for you by actually going out and trying it and paying attention to your body. It's like you're a skinny man trying to get the body of The Rock. You'll never get the body of The Rock, but you can still look good. He can go every Sunday and have a massive plate of French toast, but if you have that, you'll gain a tremendous amount of weight. You'll nick your whole past 2 to 3 days of self-improvement working out doing that. Why? Because the genetics is different. Self-improvement is very lonely and very painful, and that's what they don't tell you. So whenever you try to self-improve, you stop self-improving because you weren't, this goes back to the mental health, preserving your mental health. You weren't told the dark truth that self-improvement takes years and that it's really painful and that you have to learn yourself, go through a lot of failure. This is what they call the hero's journey. So people only gather around men with value. So in order for you to get value, you're going to have to go through the painful process of self-improvement. But here's the next thing, because life is a thinking game. Once you do self-improve and get the success, just realize when the people come around you, 70 to 80% of them is just transactional. They're gathering around you. You guys don't get it, man. Whenever you were self-improving, you were actually alone. Once you got the value, you're alone in a crowd, because the motives that people are gathering around you for aren't because they like you for you. They're around you because they can get something out of the deal from you. See, the dark truth about people is a lot of people are takers. They don't give anything. If you guys really take this video seriously, I'm going to tell you guys know I'm preaching in this video. Hopefully this video gets out to enough men. We'll see. But if you guys find this helpful, please share the video. So the only way around this lonely existence as a man is to find something that you can always go to that provides you purpose. The reason why Kobe Bryant could work out 3-4 times a day playing basketball, because he gets a tremendous amount of joy from playing basketball. When people left, when people changed, basketball was always there. So what purpose in life is always there for you, despite everybody else changing and being fickle and changing with the wind? What's the one purpose that keeps you grounded, that keeps you happy, that keeps you going? If you have not found it, you need to find it. Because that's your coping mechanism with having to deal with the lonely life as a man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please, please, please share this video if you found this insightful. And I will see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.